basically that was Pat, and you know, he came in a different kind of, you know, vibe. Yeah, you would agree with that, innit? He was a bit different in the way he was talking. He's someone that's been in it. He's done a U-turn. You know, it took him, you know, 3 shots, twice to the arm, 1 to the leg, to make him realise I'm getting out of this, and I'm getting out of it by any means necessary. And he's not in it no more. You know, and he's already mentioned something that we already talk about, and he said it's important to back your friends, but it depends on the circumstances. And I think we sort of agreed that already. But another thing he said is, which this is I guess the first godly statement we've had so far. He says, you know, revenge belongs to God. How many people would actually leave revenge to God? Anybody? Or would you just try and do it yourself? And how practical is it to leave revenge to God? Because what we're, you know, basically saying is, something happens to your family, all you're going to do is like, I'm not going to retaliate, I'm not going to do nothing, you know, I'm just going to, God, please take control. How practical is that? Or do we have that urge that we can't just sit down, we've got to do something? Yeah, I'm going to go, I'll be right back, I'm going to go to Stephanie and I'll come back to Busy. Yeah?
I think with that, most of the time, it's like, you would like to think, yeah, I will leave revenge to God, but then if something happened to your family, immediately, even if God did take revenge, He won't take revenge in a way that everybody saw that, yeah, like something happened to them. So you think, as long as if other people are not going to see the way God takes revenge, then I'll take revenge for myself.
Yeah, and I guess a lot of people would like to see a public display of God's revenge anyway, isn't it? For us to feel like something's happening. And that's definitely rightly said. It might just be a situation where that person has done something and God has taken something away from them, but we don't know what it is. But the way we're seeing them on the road is like they're still alright, but maybe they're not alright. Maybe mentally they're messed up. They took someone's life, maybe they haven't done it before, and they're now messed up or whatever. But this is, you have something to say here?
It depends on how strong that person's faith is. Because if their faith is strong, then yeah, they'll be satisfied with like leaving the revenge to God. But if they ain't, they're going to be satisfied, they're going to do it themselves.
That's a good one. That's a good one. What do we do in the meantime? So while we're leaving revenge to God, what are we doing in the meantime? Because I don't think we're just sitting around just praying. I think there's other things we could do to still be involved in the situation. So Derek, revenge belongs to God. What's your take on that, man?
I think that for someone to take revenge, for someone not to take revenge and to leave it to God, their faith has to be strong. Going back to what Bissy says, because obviously it says that God's time is the best and you have to be patient. So I think in the meantime of you being patient, there's people that are going to want to see a reaction from you. Oh, are you going to let him get away with that? Are you going to let her get away with that? How are you going to do that? That maybe you, in fact, that some people will care if they lost respect because of that. Because people don't look at them and like, oh, you're an idiot, you let him do this to you, let him do that. So I think it's a 50-50 situation.
Yeah, and just on the back of what Derek is saying, perhaps we need to be the voices of reason, like the balance. While everyone else is saying, yeah, you need to, you know, go and find that person, do this thing. We need to be the ones be like, you know what, I'm just here for you. I'm making sure you're alright. You know, if you've got injuries, I'm going to be with you, go to the doctor with you, I'm going to go to the hospital with you, whatever. You know what I mean? Because a lot of time people are trying to have revenge and we're forgetting about the person that is actually the one that's involved in it. Sometimes that person doesn't even want the revenge. Yeah, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. They just want people around them that's going to love them and help them get through the situation, you know, better. But we're out on the road finding people and they're in pain in the hospital, and it would just be nice to have people around them, you know, a bit longer. So that's a really good point. One more thing he said, Pat said, is best way for people to learn is the hard way. A lot of people are expected to come and show support. They didn't come at all. And this reminds me of something that happened to one of my cousins again. You know, he went to prison after serving, well, he had to serve 2 years in prison for a crime that he'd done. And that was the point that he realised who his family and who his friends were. Because that was the point. All the people he used to roll with, and they would even say, don't worry, I'm going to come and visit you. They didn't even show up for 2 good years. In fact, they didn't show up at all. You know? And then he realised actually, they were only, you know, my friends because of what they could get out from me. You know, what I had to give. I could back them when they're in trouble. But when I'm in trouble, they're not ready to back me. I had a car, so I was the one that could make movements with them. Yeah? And so that's why they wanted to be my friend. You see what I'm saying? So how many people feel that that's a fair statement to say that the best way for people to learn is the hard way? Should we have to really all go through the hard way before we learn any lessons? What do you think about that?
Are you there?
Yeah. Okay, we're going to hint, naughty girl in the corner.
I think my dad always says experience is the best teacher, but the mistake that people make is that they feel they have to learn from their own experience, when you can actually learn from other people's experience. So basically, going back to the thing with Roger getting beat up, all of us that would run outside and defend Roger, there's no guarantee that Roger would come and defend us, or Roger would even come and check for us if anything happened to us as a result of events to defend them. I mean, not just Roger, that's just an example. That's just an example. Basically, a lot of the time, a lot of people that are in the gang culture or in the gangs, a lot of them are just like what the thing said, they're followers and they're doing it for the family unit that they don't really have, and a lot of the time most of them don't want to do it, and most of the people that they're actually mashing up their lives for wouldn't actually like that. So that's because what that guy was saying, that when he was in hospital nobody came to see him because they didn't even, you know, come and say, oh bro, how you alive, are you dead, you know. So in life, you have to identify who your true people are. Otherwise, people will just sack you for what they can get from you and drop you.
No, that's true. That's true. True sayings, yeah. Yeah. True say. True say. Yeah. I think that deserves a round of applause. All right. One more clip, and this is a clip from. I can find his name. Have I shown you Trooper yet? No. Okay, this is Trooper. Okay. Give it up for Trooper.